There are 6 things that you should never tell anyone. If you do, it can seriously backfire on you. I'll share them with you in this video. It's been 20 years since I retired. I'm now 64 and I retired at 44. If you've watched any of my previous videos, you'll know that. And if there's one thing I've learned in the last 20 years, it's that you can't trust anyone with everything. In fact, I go so far as to say you should severely limit the amount of information that you share with people. So in this video, I'm going to share my top 6 things that I don't think you should tell anyone ever. When you retire, you want to have a peaceful life, stress-free. It's supposed to be the time of your life where you can do anything that you want to do because you're not stressed out about work anymore. So why make it hard for yourself? And one of the things that I found is that if you give up too much information to people, it can backfire on you. It can actually cause stress and anxiety, which is the thing that you're trying to avoid when you retire. What I found is that when I keep things close to my chest, there's a lot less drama in my life, a lot less hassle. I found that life has been a lot more enjoyable, especially after 60, since I started adopting that simple strategy of limiting the amount of information that I share with people. So in this video, I'm going to go through the top things that I would never share with anybody. I'm not going to go through these things in any particular order because I think all 6 of them are equally as important as each other. So what I'm going to start with is number 1, health. Now the reason that one's close to my mind at the moment is, again, if you've been watching my videos, you'll know that a few months ago I had my gallbladder removed. I don't believe in sharing the gory details of the whole experience, either before having my gallbladder out or after. You don't need to know, and I wouldn't even share that with my family. So I believe that when you have an illness, no matter what you're feeling, just try and keep it to yourself. Don't go completely into the detail. For example, I've got a very good friend who's in his 60s who has recently been diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Not the type 2 that a lot of people get when they're older, type 1. And he now has to take insulin injections. Does he ever talk about it? Does he ever share the symptoms and the problems that he's having with it? No, he doesn't. He's positive. He's got a smile on his face like he always has. You would never know there was anything wrong. And I think that's the way to play it. And the reason I feel like that is because I think it can stress people out. If your family knew exactly what you were experiencing, it might just push them into a place of stress and worry that at the end of the day isn't necessary. Keep it to yourself. Don't go into the gory details, sharing all the information about your medication, the treatment, what the doctor says, what you're doing about it in the context of your diet. Nobody needs to know. The second thing on my list is resentments. And I'm particularly thinking here about where you're pissed off with somebody because they, in your opinion, they've wronged you. There's always that temptation you'll share it with friends, particularly friends that might be in the same friendship group. And I think that's a dangerous strategy. I think if you start sharing things with people, you might actually find out whether or not those friends are your friends or the friends of the person who you've got the resentment against. They might not always see your side of things. And here's the key to this. That person isn't really a friend if they have behaved in such a way that you're feeling like that. And then you'd also have to question whether or not the friendship group, if they take the side of the other person against you, whether or not they're really a proper friendship group or whether or not they're just acquaintances. That's for you to decide. You know your friends, you know when you've been wronged and what you've done about it. I know in my case, I made that mistake. Somebody crossed paths with me when I was in my 40s. I told all the other people in the group that I was not happy about it, and it actually ended up badly for me. So that's my advice on that one. If you've got any resentments because of something that's happened within a particular friendship group, keep it to yourself. The next thing on my list is finances. I've heard it said that you're better off looking poor even if you're a millionaire. I think when you start revealing your finances, how much you're worth, how much you earn, it can only end in trouble. I think it's a British thing, probably more than an American thing. Certainly over here in the UK, I kind of get the feeling that people resent success. So if you flaunt it, I think it might end up badly for you. One of the things that's likely to happen is that if anybody can see that you're doing well or you've got a bit of wealth, they might suddenly appear and want to be your friend. Well, the reality is they're not really after your friendship. They're after what you've got. You don't really want people to be pally with you just because of something you've got. You want people to be friends with you because of who you are, because they enjoy your company, because they think you're fun, not because they've got your hand in your pocket. And that applies whether you're rich or not. Even a modicum of success can set the green monster loose in people, the envious eyes staring at you and wish they had it. And it's just not a good place to be. If you're thinking of splashing out when you've come into a little bit of money, or you're doing well in your career, just hold back a little bit with showing off your success. It may not always be received as well as you'd like it to be. Next on my list is plans. Your bucket list is your bucket list. Don't share it with other people. They might not be in as fortunate a position as you to be able to experience the things that you're going to experience. When you've got plans for your life, they're your plans. Whatever they are, 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, whatever your plan is for your retirement, it's your plan. Don't share it with anyone. The only exception to that rule is you might want to share your plans with your wife or your husband just to make sure that they're on side. And also, if you've taken up coaching with anybody or mentoring, then share your plans with them too. They'll want to know your plans so they can help you put into place ways to execute on those plans. The next thing on my list is knowledge. Don't share your knowledge with anyone unless they specifically ask for help. And if you do decide to give people access to your knowledge, just give them a rough overview. One of the things you might want to do when you're in your 50s or your 60s, even your 70s, is you might want to consult or coach or mentor. Under those circumstances, you've got to share a little bit of your knowledge to give people a flavour of what you can do for them, to establish your credibility, if you will. But don't give the real detail. Only give that to people who really want it. And if you're a coach or a consultant, then those are the people who are going to pay to access your knowledge. Other than that, just don't be liberal in your sharing of knowledge. Definitely don't be one of those people who shares their knowledge in social situations when it's not asked for. The chances are, under those circumstances, people just regard you as being a bit of a bore. They're not there for you to tell them everything you know and to come across as being a bit of a big head. The last thing on my list is relationship problems. Your friends and your family are not specialist counsellors. The chances are they are not going to be able to help you work things out with whoever it is you've got the problem with. Whether that be a friend, your partner, your wife, your husband, whoever it happens to be, a work colleague, wherever you have a problem, the chances are they can't help. If you really do need help, then I would advise you to seek help with people who are trained, specialists, coaches, mentors, counsellors. Don't burden other family members with the things that are going wrong in your relationship. The chances are they can see it for themselves. They'll see your mood, obviously, they'll know it's affecting you, and they'll want to do whatever they can to help you. And my advice under those circumstances is to brush it off and say that you are dealing with it. Thank them very much for taking an interest in you and for any sympathy that they might be giving you. Don't drag them into the actual specifics of what's going wrong in that relationship. What are your thoughts? Do you agree or disagree with my top 6? I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Please let me know. What's been your individual experience of these 6 things? I hope you found this video useful, and if you have, then I'm absolutely delighted, because that's the whole basis of me making those videos. If you haven't, well, I'm sorry. Well, this one wasn't for you. Maybe the next one will. One of the things I wanted to mention whilst I'm on is that I am doing some mentoring at the moment for a small group of people, helping them put together a blueprint for a retirement. There's a link in the description below if you are interested in me as your mentor. If you're not, that is perfectly okay. Just keep watching the videos if you're finding them useful. However, you might want to watch this video next. It's an interview I had recently with a chap who cheated death twice on Mount Everest, and it changed the way he approaches his life after 50. I'm going to head off and have some lunch at Sparks in York. See you again soon.